wondered what secrets linger in the shadows of America's most haunted places? What tales of mystery and despair could the walls of an abandoned sanatorium reveal? Explore the mysterious Waverly Hills Sanatorium in Louisville, Kentucky, known as the most terrifying building in America, showcasing its haunting atmosphere and captivated global imagination. During the 1800s and early 1900s, America was devastated by a deadly disease known by many as the White Death, tuberculosis. This terrifying and infectious pandemic, for which no cure existed, claimed entire families and sometimes entire towns. In 1900, Louisville, Kentucky had the highest tuberculosis death rate in America. Before it became famous for being haunted, Waverly Hills was an important hospital in Louisville.
Is this your personal statement?
It was built starting in 1908 and opened in 1910. As the Waverly Hills website says, to help people with tuberculosis, a serious sickness that was spreading in the area. The disease continued to spread uncontrolled across the region, and eventually, thanks to donations of money and land, a new hospital was established in 1924. The new structure, known as Waverly Hills, opened 2 years later in 1926. They made the building bigger so it could take care of more than 400 sick people at once. It was considered the most advanced tuberculosis sanatorium in the country. But even then, majority of patients passed away from the illness. There was no medicine available at that time to treat the disease, and so many patients were offered rest, fresh air, and lots of nutritious food. Now, picture a time when tuberculosis, a deadly and highly contagious disease, was a real nightmare. Patients with this illness were kept away from others in secluded spaces. That's what made Waverly Hills so special. It was more than just a hospital. It was like its own little world. It had its own ZIP code, its own post office, and even its farmland. Doctors and staff couldn't leave the property. They lived there, working day and night to care for the sick. This place wasn't just about medicine. It was about survival, hope, and the deep mysteries that came with being cut off from the rest of the world.
Cold chills. I got the cold chills when I heard that shit.
There are many inaccurate reports as to how many people died during Waverly Hills' decades of operation. Some claim that tens of thousands died with the walls of the hospital, but this number is greatly exaggerated. According to Dr. J. Frank Stewart, the former assistant medical director at the hospital, the highest number of deaths to occur at Waverly Hills in a single year was 152. By 1955, those numbers had dropped to as low as 42 deaths, and it's been estimated that approximately 6,000 people died there, dating all the way back to the original hospital records from 1911. While far short of the numbers being tossed about in the legends, it's still a tremendous number of deaths to have occurred in a single structure. As medical science advanced, the dark shadow of tuberculosis finally began to lift. In the early 1960s, a breakthrough came with an antibiotic that could cure the disease. This marked the end of an era for the Waverly Hills Sanatorium. In 1961, it closed its doors only to be renovated and reopened a year later as a nursing home. This new chapter lasted until 1981, after which the once bustling facility was left abandoned. Is it any wonder, then, that Waverly Hills is renowned as one of the most haunted places in the country? With its walls echoing the anguished whispers of the past, the sanatorium stands as a monument to countless tales of sorrow and despair. The journey of Waverly Hills through time is a story of transformation. After its closure, the building and land changed hands repeatedly. In 1983, it nearly became a prison, only to be saved by local protests. Then a plan to turn it into apartments fell through due to financial troubles. In 1996, an ambitious project emerged under Robert Alberhaski's vision. His dream? To erect the world's tallest statue of Jesus on the site, transforming the sanatorium into a religious center. The magnificence of this concept, however, didn't match its reality, with funding falling drastically short. Eventually, Alberhasky attempted to have the property condemned for redevelopment, a plan that too unraveled. Moving forward for about 20 years, Waverly Hills stood silent, its once busy corridors now falling into disrepair. But in 2001, something remarkable happened.
I see Waverly Towers again.
When the train come by, all these bodies from Kentucky come here, had to come here.
Charlie and Tina Mattingly saw promise in this forgotten artifact and took it upon themselves to breathe new life into it. They bought the property and founded the Waverly Hills Historical Society in 2003. Their mission? To restore this piece of history and preserve its legacy. Their efforts soon caught the attention of the paranormal community. Waverly Hills began to gain fame as a hotspot for ghost hunters and thrill seekers, eager to explore its mysterious past. They even caught the eye of television with shows like A&E's Ghost Hunters choosing it as a filming location. Today, it stands not just as a monument to a bygone medical era, but as a beacon for those fascinated by the unexplained and the supernatural. It's a place where history and legend intertwine, creating an atmosphere that's both eerie and captivating. Are you ready to delve deeper into this haunting mystery with us? If so, this is your moment. Hit that subscribe button now. Become a part of our quest to uncover the secrets that Waverly Hills guards so jealously. Your support not only fuels our exploration, but also brings you closer to the chilling truths we're about to uncover. So what turned Waverly Hills from a quiet Louisville medical center into a place known for its ghostly tales? The transformation is as intriguing as it is chilling.
When somebody died, they put them in that and then take them down that tunnel.
Getting really cold.
A 2001 newspaper story from the Courier-Journal, published right before Fox Family's Scariest Places on Earth filmed there, sheds some light. The reporter mentioned that countless local legends about the place being haunted had grown over the years. These stories were fueled by the tragic history of the sanatorium, where many lost their lives to tuberculosis during its more than 50 years of operation. One of the most eerie features of Waverly Hills is the infamous 600-foot bodied chute. This tunnel was used to discreetly move the bodies of the deceased. Over time, this chute has become notorious, often mentioned in stories of ghostly encounters. In a 2017 interview with the Courier-Journal, Tina Mattingly talked about orbs and mysterious lights seen in the chute, along with sightings of spirits. Perhaps the most captivating legend centers on room 502. Shrouded in mystery, it's said to be a place where shadows move of their own accord and voices whisper from the empty air. Despite the lack of concrete evidence, tales of tragic nurses and unexplained deaths continue to fuel its notoriety. This floor, designed for the benefit of tuberculosis patients, now serves as a canvas for the supernatural. The open patios, which used to bring fresh air and hope, are now places where people see ghosts and strange things happen. Such experiences at Waverly Hills are not mere stories. They are testimonies to the lingering spirits of its past. Each echo, each shadow, is a piece of its haunted tapestry, weaving a narrative that continues to captivate and terrify. As we wrap up our journey through the haunting halls of Waverly Hills Sanatorium, we're left with an eerie blend of history and mystery. This legendary site, a witness to both human suffering and unexplained phenomena, continues to captivate our imaginations. Thank you for joining us in uncovering the secrets and stories that echo through these abandoned corridors. Until next time, keep exploring and stay curious about the mysteries that lie just beyond the veil of the known world.